Hey guys, I know it's been a couple days, but I got something important to tell y'all. I just got a job like last week, and so far things are going good. The thing is, it's customer service. And today I want to kind of just rant about what it's like actually working in fast food. And I just want to talk about my experience working these minimum wage jobs. Now, I am about to be 19, so I'm not in college yet. I'm trying to save up to get a car so I can go to college. But customer service is hard, and I kind of just want to go on a rant about it because I feel like it's my job as a cashier to spread awareness about what it's really like working customer service with customers that are just always, picky. Talking about the picky customers. We're going to talk about just the straight up rude ones, the ones that are always confrontational. Now, I haven't had that much like negative experiences with customers, but I've definitely had like at least two customers that were just flat out like I didn't even want to see them again because they were just so obnoxious and so rude. But now I do want to say this real quick before I begin any of that. I am going to be filming a couple of rant videos throughout, my YouTube channel. They are just opinions. They ain't straight facts, so I don't really want to get people in the comments saying things like that ain't true, or you're lying about something, that's BS and things like that. I mean, first off, it's my opinion. It's not a fact. I didn't get this from school. I didn't get this out of a textbook. I got it from my experience in life. So if you feel offended, you ain't gotta watch my videos, or at least my rant videos. But with that being said, let's just get started. So last year in October, I started a job at my local grocery store. I was a cashier. I was only making $8 an hour. I was there for 3 months, and I didn't really like the job at all. I'm going to be honest. I didn't like it because it's like every time a customer comes up to me, I got to check them out. I'm lifting at least 20 pounds of groceries per customer. So it's stressful. Okay, so I worked, let's say, at the most, maybe 25 hours a week. And that's $8 an hour. So, I'm just going to make a guess here. I was making like $130 a week, and that's before taxes were taken out. The most I've ever made at that particular job was maybe $260 with the tax taken out, and that was because I worked 40 hours that week, and it was Christmas. So, it was hard work, and you're probably thinking, oh, you're just a cashier. Most of the time, you're just standing around checking people out and stuff. Like, it's tough work, let me tell you, because you have to work long hours, and you're only making a handful of money. I mean, $130 a week, less than $800 a month, that's not enough to live off of. That's not enough. I mean, it's enough if you're in high school and all you need is gas and, money to pay your phone bill and all that. And the people who were working at the time, that most of them were teenagers. But, I mean, it's hard work. Less pay, there's no opportunity for growth. Like, you're not growing your career. I mean, it's a job. It's not a career. You're either there or you're not. And, the customers are always picky about the littlest things, Like, first off, this is probably the most weirdest complaint I've ever heard. You're bagging the groceries too roughly. Okay, like, you can't throw the groceries in there like that. You have to, like, take it and then set it in there. I had, like, 3 or 4 customers at that job mention something about me bagging it too roughly, when literally I'm doing this. Like, I didn't give them none of this, by the way, but I was just like that. Turn, do that. And then they start complaining about it like, you're supposed to bag it a certain way. And it's my job as a cashier to just scan your items and take your money. It is not necessarily my job to bag your groceries according to your liking. Now, I have common sense when it comes to bagging groceries. Like meat, like raw meat, can't go with anything else. Like raw meat has to be bagged separately, and it has to be double bagged. Anything that's over a gallon, like soda or water, anything like that, double bag it. Cold stuff needs to be bagged together so it can stay insulated and it doesn't overheat. You know, I have common sense as far as that goes, but, you know, some people are picky. They either want only one bag, and then some people are like, don't even bag it at all, put it in this, like, bag, which I can understand that. There was this one customer who was, like, so fond of turtles that she will not use plastic bags because, you know, the plastic bags and the pollution and all that, you know, and I can understand that. So, you know, that wasn't an issue for me. It was just people who assume that I'm bagging it too roughly, when in the end, all I really have to do is scan your items correctly and take your money. And then, speaking of scanning items, there's customers that come up and say that you scanned it wrong. Okay, I understand that, but they will get mad. Like, I paid an extra $1 or $2 for this, and that ain't what it said. When I scan it up, they'll be like, wait a minute, that wasn't what it said on the that's not what it said on the shelf. I didn't know that, because we did sales every week, so things would either go up in price a little bit for multiple items, or it'll actually go down in price. And, you know, it didn't always come up on my computer. I don't know that. I don't walk around checking prices. I stay at my register. You know, I clean up around my register. I have to clean up all the raw chicken and the raw meat that leaks, because we had some terrible wrappers in the meat department. And it was also my job, if you say something, it was my job to walk back there and look for it and make sure I got the right price. Or I could turn around to my boss and say, hey, this rung up wrong. You know, I could also do that. But people acted so, you know, just out there over having to spend an extra $1 for something that can easily be fixed like that. You know, you want a refund? We'll give you a refund. You still want it? We'll give it to you for that price. You know, whether it was right or not, we'll still give it to you for what you thought it was, because we were just that nice. But customers, you know, and I'm saying this as somebody who is a customer. I mean, I do both. I'm a customer, and I also work in customer service. So this one particular customer was aggressive to me about the bagging situation. And she flat out, like, she walked away. She had her kids giving me, like, this weird eye, like who's she messing with? And literally, their mom, who was arguing with me over bagging it too roughly, was flat out like, this little girl don't know who she messing with. Like, first off, who are you? Let's just say that. Second of all, what gives you the right to go around in public, especially in 2023, just blurting out, like, they got the wrong one, who they messing with, and stuff like that? I mean, that's aggressive, and that comes off like you're wanting to start a fight. And, you know, she got the manager involved and all that, and the manager took my side. The manager even told me, like, she knew the manager. She's like, I know the manager, you know, he'll take care of me. And he flat out looked at me as soon as she left, and he was like, man, people are crazy nowadays. Like, I mean, come on. I mean, this woman was the exact definition of a Karen. You're going to start all of that at 8 o'clock at night just because somebody bagged it maybe just a little too roughly. It's not like it was a carton of eggs and I just swung it in there. It wasn't like that. It was literally cans of green beans and corn. Okay? All of that over a couple of cans of food. It wasn't eggs. It wasn't meat. It wasn't even packaged meat. It was cans. But obviously I can't throw the I can't, you know, put them in the bag like that. You know, no, I gotta do it like this. And then I started doing that. She got mad at me for that. She was like shaking her head, you know, talking to me like I'm stupid because I'm trying to ask her, like, I don't understand what you're trying to tell me. Like, am I going too slow or too fast? And she's giving me the look like I'm like just an idiot. Like, you know, I'm trying to help you do something that I don't even have to do. All I got to do is scan it and give it to you. And then take the money, and then you can have a great night. But no, I mean, some customers are not like that. Some customers just want to take something to the extreme and fight over something that's not really that big of a deal. Now, if I was a customer I don't care how you bag my groceries as long as, you know, my meat is separated from everything else. And, you know, even if I didn't like the way you were putting my groceries in a bag, like, let's say I had, like, peppers, and I see you, like, putting peppers in there and then trying to put something heavy on top of that, you know, I'd be like, hey, I would like that separate, you know, because I don't want it crushing. I wouldn't be like, stop doing that, or, you know, something like that. Like, don't come to my job telling me how to do it. I don't care if you ever been a cashier before. I don't care, you know, like, don't come to my job telling me what to do. How would you like it if I came to your job telling you what to do? You wouldn't like it. So this is definitely a good example of treat people the way you want to be treated. Okay, you want somebody to be nice to you and do what you want them to do, then, you know, you gotta be nice about it. You know, just ask. Like, you ain't gotta get, like, defensive and be like, hey, that's not what I want, and stuff like that. You just be like, hey, could you please, you know, do this for me, because I don't like that. You know, just be a civilized human being, please, because we're all human beings. Now, that was the only bad experience I had as a cashier at the grocery store. Now, my first week as a cashier at a fast food restaurant, so far that's good. The only complaint I have is there was this one customer a couple days ago. She was in the drive-thru, because I work drive-thru, and she said that I charged her extra for something, which I did, and I told her that before she even brought it up. Like, hey, I messed up your order. It's going to be a minute. I'm trying to get it fixed. And she was like, oh, okay, you know, this, that. And then as soon as I say, have a nice day, and I give her her food, she just now decides to react to it, you know. And she's like, hey, wait a minute, you gave me the wrong thing. And I'm like, let me go get my manager real quick, you know, and I'm nice. And then, you know, when I bring my manager into the mix, you know, I hear this woman going in the car like, she did this, I came here like 4 times, and I haven't gotten the right thing ever since. Like, first off, that ain't my fault. I literally just started working there. Like, I was only there for 3 days at that time. So, you know, that wasn't me. Like, those other times, that wasn't my fault. That was somebody else. Like, that wasn't my fault. Second of all, you know, yes, I messed up. I understand. It's a computer, okay? Some people press the wrong buttons, especially when they're in training. You push the wrong buttons, and anything could be fixed. Like, think about that. Anything that you order can be fixed. You want a refund? We'll give you that refund. You missing something? We'll give it to you. And most of the time, if you are missing something, we'll give it to you. Like, we'll give you an extra one free. Like, even if you're like, hey, I didn't order regular fry, I wanted a large, guess what? You can keep that regular fry, and we'll get you a large. No extra charge. Simple as that. But, you know, some people, they think they gotta react. Like, they have to really make a statement to make themselves feel heard, which is ridiculous, because in 2023, everybody's listening to you, and you're just choosing to pick a fight with somebody who makes less than $1,000 a month, you know? And it's not even a livable wage. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's not a livable wage. $1,000 a month, you can't live off of that unless you're in high school. And then the majority of people that I work with, they're in college. So they're trying to get places of their own, just like me. I'm trying to get a place of my own. I'm trying to get a car so I can go to college. I'm trying to save up for money so I can do all of those things. But, you know, they're not paying us enough to, you know, accommodate to everybody's feelings. I mean, everybody, like, in fast food, they want specific things, and it's like, you know, I can do it for you, but in the end, they don't pay me enough to deal with the hassle afterwards, you know. And something I also learned while I was in fast food, everybody has their own thing that they do that helps everybody. So me as a cashier, it's my job to take your order. It's my job to listen to what you got to say, and I put in the right order, and then I hit new order so that in the back, the chefs, the people who are cooking, can make the food. Now, let's say you're a customer and you got fries and they're just too cold. Well, that's not my fault. That would be whoever made the French fries' fault. Okay? I mean, we're all a team, so, you know, one person messes up, then, I mean, it looks like all of us have messed up. But, you know, in my mind, I'm not like that, you know. I blame people who actually did it. You know, I don't go around blaming the whole group, you know. Now, let's say you're missing something. It could be my fault. I might not have put it down on the list. Sorry. Or it could be that we bagged it wrong and, you know, we did have your order, but we put it in a different bag. Now, that's happened before. You know, in just a week, that's happened before. And, you know, like I said, we can fix anything. But some people are just not that willing to let it go. You know, some people just need to fight over it. People need to argue, yell, be sarcastic, and stuff like that, be rude. Like, I know some people who will even let their kids be rude to you. Like, I didn't mention this, but my last job, I remember this one man came in, and he was trying to be all sarcastic, and literally his kids, like 6 years old, started insulting me and saying, like, I'm slow and stupid and stuff like that. And then the man's trying to, like, nudge on his kid to be quiet, and I'm like, yeah, you deserve whatever however they act, you deserve it. And I'm seeing him trying to, like, drag his kid out of there because the kid's going all crazy and jumping around, and he's trying to tell him to shut up and stop it. I'm like, yeah, dude, you deserve that. You know, for allowing your kids to treat workers, minimum wage workers like that, you deserve whatever you get, man. I mean, seriously, we're people too. How would you like it if it was your son or daughter going to work, and then some grown man or some grown woman comes in with their kids and starts insulting you, assuming like you're stupid and you don't know how to do your job? How would you like that? It's not funny. It's not right. It's very wrong, you know. And, you know, if you want something done to your liking, this goes for fast food workers. I know I keep going back and forth, but I've only worked 2 jobs in my entire life, so I'm only talking about my experience with it and how I think people need to look at, you know, workers, minimum wage workers, is you want something done right as far as food goes, you need to do it yourself. You want something cooked a certain way, you need to do it yourself. You want condiments put on your food? Honestly, just order a plain burger and you can put on, and I'll give you packets of ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise. You fix your own burger. Like, that's what I would do. Like, I would literally just order a plain sandwich or a plain burger, and I'll put my own condiments on it. Okay? You know, I mean, there's ways to get what you want without being a jackass. Really. Come on, y'all. Like I said, we really don't get paid enough to deal with all that. And don't get me wrong, I like working. I like getting out every day and doing something, especially if I like it. But, I mean, customer service is not something I want to do for the rest of my life because, you know, people expect for you to accommodate to every single feeling, and that's a good thing. I mean, when you go somewhere, you should get what you ordered, because, you know, I would be a little upset too if I didn't get what I ordered, but I wouldn't be so belligerent and so crazy about it that I literally got to start a fight about it, you know. I just walk in and be like, hey, I'm missing something. I need help. Simple as that. They should raise the pay at least an extra $12. I mean, not $12. I meant an extra $2. I'm thinking I'm making 10 an hour now. I'm thinking to myself, you know, bump me up to 12. I'd be more understanding. I would be less likely to get offended by somebody if I was making $1,500 or a little more a month than just $1,000. You know, I'm not complaining. I love money in general. But somebody that's trying to go to college and trying to make something of themselves, that costs money. And trying to go to work every day, trying to go to school every day, which, telling y'all right now, the closest university to me is at least 30 minutes away. So, that's going to cost money. It's going to cost money to get to school every day and get back. It's going to cost gas money. Not to mention school textbooks. You know, they're typically like $50 each, and that's for a used one. The student loans, you got to pay those off no matter what. You know, everything costs money, and that's what some of these places don't understand. And at the same time, you have to deal with customers who act like they're better than you because they have a good job and you're fast food, you're a minimum wage worker, you're I mean, people don't want to look at you like you're something just because you work in fast food or retail. And that's not right. Not at all. Because it's a job. It doesn't matter if it's a career or not. It's a job. You still got to get up and work for it. And just like with any job that exists, you know? And it's like, if you wanted to do something like nursing or be a lawyer, be a police officer, or be whatever you want. I mean, you still got to train for that. You still got to go to school for that. Money. So we got to understand, you couldn't be what you are now if you weren't doing what I'm doing now. Think about that. You cannot be a doctor, lawyer, nurse, inspector, teacher without working where I worked at right now. So think about that. Think about a time, next time you go out in public to a fast food restaurant or a retail store and you're not in a good mood or you're just not in a chit-chatting mood, think about this. You used to be in this kind of position, okay? There is not one college student on the face of this planet, unless your parents are billionaires, that has never worked a job before, okay? And I know for a fact you don't just become a nurse and never work anywhere else before in your life. No, you had to do something. You have to work. I mean, that's life. That's the system. I wish they teach kids more about this. Everything costs money. College, money. Marriage, money. Family, money. School, money. Cars, money. Insurance, money. Everything costs money. You have to, they don't pay you enough to take care of everything. It's like some people have to get 2 jobs just to make it. And that ain't right. You should be able to have just one job and not work yourself to death for somebody getting mad at you because they missing one thing out of their order. It's not right. It's just, I feel bad for these workers. I don't care how old they are. Some of these people that work in fast food are literally 30 years old, 40 years old, and I feel bad for them because, they don't deserve to live the rest of their life working like that. They deserve something better. They deserve more money. They deserve better jobs, career opportunities. Now, some of these fast food restaurants, they do have, small career opportunities, but still, you don't want to work in fast food for the rest of your life. And that's why I highly encourage you to get a trade in something, go to college, go to trade school, do whatever you got to do. That way you ain't working customer service for the rest of your life. Because, I used to be the kid that was like, why are you complaining? I mean, you work in fast food. It's not like you're a teacher or a cop or anything. You don't really know what it's like to go through hardships. I used to be that kid, and I'm ashamed of that because that's not the case, man. And I hope that there's a day, I hope that the day comes where people are more respectful of our minimum wage workers, because this is a hard world. In the end, we're all human beings and we all deserve to be treated the same as everybody else, regardless of where we work.